The following show is for entertainment purposes only and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of Empire Media LLC, its subsidiaries, affiliates, sponsors, and advertisers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Majors Live, episode 286 here on TMSNX Radio and the Majors.net. I am Adam Hernandez. There's Dorf. There's Shawn. Everybody's here tonight. How's everybody doing? You guys doing good?
Good. Programming note.
Yes.
No shows next week.
No shows next week. See, we made that decision at the end of Motor City Uncut, and lo and
We
behold,
are informing you up front.
Lo-
Because
yeah.
An informed populace is the best kind of
yeah,
populace.
lo and behold, we can make mention of it now. But like I said, no shows next week, or like Dorf said, excuse me, no shows next week, so have fun. We're going to be off because of Easter, right?
There we go.
Right.
There
Is
we
that
go.
what it is? Easter.
No.
Easter holiday. Because Easter's Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're going to have much to talk about, A, and then B, you and I got shit to do.
You got too much shit to do. Fan question tonight. Would you support the MLB putting a cap on the number of relievers a team could use in an inning? Rob Manfred is thinking about it.
Stop fiddling, Rob. Just make baseball fun again. Stop trying to complicate shit.
And a little bit later on, we're gonna introduce some teams and whether or not it's too early to panic, because these teams actually haven't been tearing things up, and it's gonna actually kind of be a piggyback off of what we talked about last week in regards to why these teams won't make the World Series. And it's kind of funny because a number of these teams on this list tonight were teams that we talked about last week. But again, it is early. We are through what, the first week of the MLB season.
About a
Some
week and a-
teams have
about a week and a
7
half, yeah.
games in so far.
So here we
Other
go.
teams as few as 5.
Yeah, Tigers, one of those because of.
They've actually got
Arena.
6 because they played today.
Yeah, that's right.
Game 6 is today.
But early April baseball in the northern portion of the United States always makes for some interesting weather scenarios. So, first off tonight, and it is the title of the show. Here on the leadoff, I wanted to get to. There was an article. Where was this from? I think it was from The Atlantic, by Jeremy Vinuk. The upcoming privacy battle over wearables in the NBA. And with this, and it's not just about the NBA. This is about really professional sports in general. Biometric trackers could revolutionize professional sports. First, though, leagues will have to convince athletes to share their data. Now, again, the biometric trackers, again, and people see this all the time. I mean, you've seen people wear those watches around with... that'll sit there and track their heart rate and their
This one
blood
does that.
pressure. Yeah, so Dorf has one.
It's like an actual watch, but it doubles as that.
Yeah, so it'll track your heart rate, how many steps you took. I'm sure your temperature sometimes.
No, not in this one.
But some of them. Some of them
know
might.
One that does that.
Some of them might. But you've seen them. I mean, the public does have access to some of them.
Consumer items at this point.
Exactly.
Do that.
Now, as far as professional sports goes, they get a little bit more complex, and this is something that is much more prevalent actually in professional sports leagues overseas.
Just look at the tracking that they do on the guys in big time soccer over in Europe.
Yeah, and you know what? This is something that they talk about in the article here, that it's much more prevalent overseas because the players' unions over there aren't as good
They suck.
as the ones in the United States. And this is where it comes into play here, that the players unions in the United States have a much more greater stranglehold on the leagues and the owners being able to fully implement these biometric trackers within the game itself. Now, that's not to say that they're not totally there. Baseball does use a sleeve on some of their pitchers sometimes, and I know that there was that whole thing about having pitchers, young pitchers, high school pitchers coming into the amateur draft take voluntary MRIs. Is that what it was, Dorf?
I don't think it was voluntary. I think it was more a do it or else.
It's voluntary, but if you don't take it, we're not gonna.
It's not unofficially mandatory. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not mandatory, but it is.
But it's like, yeah, it's mandatory, but it's not. But if you don't do it, you're not getting drafted.
Yeah, something along those lines. The NHL, let's see, they have introduced a motion tracking hardware that's been commonplace in other sports for years. And the National Football League has used microchips in players' jerseys to gather stuff like players' heart rate, skin temperature, stuff like that. And that's what was used. Major League Baseball, since 2016, the league approved 2 devices, one a special sleeve fitted with sensors aimed at understanding stress on pitchers' arms, and other tracking a player's heart rate, skin temperature, and sleep cycle.
That's impressive.
But as far as the NBA goes, they've been much more stingy. The players' union, that is, to the idea of introducing something like this. According to the article, the NBA's new collective bargaining agreement, the 600-page document outlining relations between the league, the teams, and the players' union that takes effect in the fall. According to the 3-page section on wearables, the devices are prohibited in games, and use in practice is strictly voluntary and constrained to one of 6 brands. Any team requesting a player wear one must explain in writing what's being tracked and how the team will use the information, not only to the player himself, but also to a 6-person panel comprising 3 representatives for the players' union and 3 for the league. Most importantly, the agreement says that data collected from a wearable worn at the request of a team may be used for player health and performance purposes and team on-court tactical and strategic purposes only. The data may not be considered used, discussed, or referenced for any other purpose, such as negotiations regarding a future player contract or other player contract transaction, under penalty of $250,000 worth of fines. So,
yeah, they say that they can't use it.
They say that they can't use it, and that's exactly what I was thinking, Dorf. Now, I don't know how confidential stuff like this is. I'm assuming you know what it is.
It probably won't get out, and it probably won't be shared team to team. But at the same time, if you absolutely bet your fucking ass you'll be looking at that data. Oh, do we sign this aging star, or is he showing signs of an immediate decline?
And you know what, Dorf, that is going to indirectly make it to these other teams because
why are they signing him? Oh, they must have
exactly
some bad things off their biometric reader.
Exactly.
We're going to stay away from him.
Exactly.
It's gonna ruin the career of guys.
I don't know. This again. You know what? This is along the lines here of we've talked about sports having to
Big
adapt.
Brother's going to come get you.
Not so much that. We've talked about sports having to adapt to the advancements in medical technology. And one of those was performance-enhancing drugs. Performance-enhancing drugs and the ability to mask taking performance-enhancing drugs. That all has to deal with some type of medical technology that is becoming more prevalent in the game. This is another thing. This is a more I don't want to say traditional, but I think more commonplace when it comes to medical technology. I think this is something that you might think about a little bit more in this. It's the biometrics. And you have to think to yourself, okay, isn't this, I'm surprised that teams haven't been taking a look at this longer ago. You would think it would be commonplace, like I said, that
The only reason it's not is because the unions know
Exactly.
exactly how this is going to kill their older players, the guys in their prime earning years, and they're not about to let that happen.
okay,
And good for them.
okay. Now here's the question, and this is the biggest thing about this entire article, though, because yes, it deals with the NBA and the stinginess of the NBA's players union not to fully divulge themselves into these biometric trackers. But can there ever be a line drawn between health and strategy, or health/strategy, and then contracts? Because for me, I don't think there could ever be that line drawn.
Health and safety and stuff like that is a huge part of player contracts. It's a big part of assessing your long-term risk with a player. And if I have access to data I wouldn't otherwise,
it's going to ruin people's careers by
exactly.
Because as much as we want to say,
it takes all the risk out from the team's perspective.
Okay, let's say this too. With the advancements, not just in medical technology, but social media technology, in the way that data is thrown around. I mean, look at Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter got busted, or he's currently, I think, being sued by, who was it? Jason Pierre-Paul.
Oh, it's because somebody at the hospital tweeted him his medical records.
Okay.
His retweet.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, even those doing this stuff's gonna get leaked no matter what.
I think that you're gonna have this stuff leak all the time.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. And
so skin temperature was high last game. Probably has flu.
But I mean, But for me, I don't think this line could ever be drawn. I don't think you're ever going to see a line drawing between the health and strategy, and then the contracts, and then the negotiation for a future contract.
Right.
To me, this is something that, and this goes to the next point here. I think this is something that athletes and players' unions are going to have to adapt to. Because think about this. Is there any way right now for a player, or going forward, that a players' union is going to be able to outlast the league itself and the owners?
No.
In the United States, I think so.
Why?
I really think they can.
How is that?
Because you know what, in the United States, it's very much that the unions very much have the mentality that they're not afraid to strike. They will take their ball and go home. And I think this is one of the hills that they'll choose to die on. I think that they will hold out and prevent this from being implemented.
But who has
At any level.
But you know what? Who has the money in all of this?
Right.
The owners do.
I mean, can't the owners just outmoney them?
I don't know that they can.
I mean, because where are they
You know
going to?
what? At the same time, your money spigot turns off when you don't have games.
But where are they going to go?
Yeah.
Where are the players going to
The
go?
owners, do you remember how much the expenses incurred just to have
Because you know
every
what?
day that there's not an event at the Jerry Jones's Fun Palace down there in Dallas Fort Worth, it costs Jerry Jones personally like $1 million every day he doesn't have an event there.
But you know
He
what?
has $1 million in expenses.
But you know
And
what?
those will start to add up, and lost revenue from games, ticket sales, etc., like that. You're I believe you're really, really underestimating the amount of leverage that the players have in sports in the United States.
But how much leverage do the owners have over the players who aren't going to be taking in a paycheck because of this?
If the unions have done it right, they've built their war chest, and they can hold out for over a year over this.
Okay, then they hold out for over a year. Then what? We've seen leagues get wiped out, and it's not like these players can go to another country and do this,
Right?
Because they have these biometric trackers in other countries.
If honestly, the big four sports now, the NHL, I don't think the NHL players have the clout to make that happen, but the NBA, NFL, MLB players unions, you bet your ass, that is a hill that they would die on.
Does the NFL though? Does the NFL players union when they're talking
Yeah.
non-guaranteed contracts?
Exactly.
And
even more of a reason to die on the hill, because if they have access to all this stuff and you have a bunch of guaranteed money at the end of your deal, you know damn well you're never going to see that with this data being part of the team's evaluation process.
But my point is you're already not strong from a contract standpoint.
Mhm.
And there's really no place to go for an NFL player.
No.
You're not going to Canada or well, yeah, you can go to
You
Canada.
can't go to
never mind.
Canada and make like $80,000.
But you're not going to Europe to play.
No,
There's no European league. No,
they just create a new league.
they just started a league in Mexico though.
Okay, then go and play in
Chad
Mexico.
Johnson's playing in it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I laughed pretty hard when I saw that.
I don't know. I think that this is. I think as the years go on, I think this is something that athletes and players' unions are probably just going to have to
Deal with.
learn to live with.
Honestly, I
Because to be honest,
I-
there's
I
no
think you-
win-win situation here.
think you underestimate the resolve. I think this is a hill that they would die on.
Okay, well then, what do you mean die on? What's
Like,
what-
you
It
think
is a
that-
non-starter. They will not allow games to be played.
So you
if
think
that is
you think that this could like destroy the entire sport of baseball?
Absolutely. I would think that the players' union would take their ball and go home. If this was if the owners and the league tried to strong arm this sort of tracking technology, and I think the union would take their ball and go home.
I think that the. Now, look, I don't think this is going to be beneficial for. I think you know what I think in a way Sean's right. I don't think there's going to be any winners in any of
No,
this.
there isn't. It seems like it's there. There may be. I think it's a lose-lose situation, to be honest, because you're gonna if they say Dorf, like your example, if they would just shut down and just stop and never play the game again, the fans are gonna lose, the owners are gonna lose, the players are gonna lose, and the
owners have more to lose.
right. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's gonna lose. And even the union's going to lose because they just lost a dream of that they've created themselves. So
I'm telling you what, man. I really think I'm call me the Infowars Alex Jones conspiracy tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy monster here, but there's no way that this data that they want to collect will not be used in a detrimental fashion towards the players. I think they know that. I think they see that. There's no way in high hell that they will allow a game to be played with that sort of tracking technology being mandatory. There's no way in fucking hell they will. At the end, you know what? You might be able to get away with court tracking, things in your jersey. All it does is track your position in three-dimensional space. You might get away with that at the NBA and the NHL, but that's it. There's no way you will be able to if baseball and football especially will ever allow biometric trackers to be put on their players willingly. There's no way they don't strike over that.
Can they grandfather players out of it though?
No.
No?
No. This isn't like chewing tobacco on the field where, if you're a new player, you can't do it anymore in the NBA, MLB. This isn't something that guys have always been doing it, so they get to be exempt from the new ruling. No, there's no grandfathering here. I'm dead serious. This is a hill they die on.
They're kind of. I mean, like they said, they've already done it though, with the MRIs with these pitchers, these new pitchers. You don't want to take an MRI? Fine.
Don't get drafted.
We can make certain judgments on you then.
exactly, it's like obviously you're hiding something, or you.
And this gets back to that. Well, if you got nothing to hide, what's the problem with Big Brother looking?
Well, it's kind of like getting pulled over by a cop.
Yep.
If you don't want your car searched or you don't have anything to hide, then why don't you just let them search your car?
He doesn't know my fucking rights. Fuck
Mhm.
off.
Right.
Exactly.
Am I being detained?
But I don't know. It's going to be. This is going to be something to watch as the years go on in professional sports, because I think truly this could be a topic that it's going to become more prevalent,
Oh yeah.
simply because as contracts in sports start to go up, I can see the argument on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I 100% understand why owners in the leagues
Yeah.
want this.
Yeah, I mean
I
they don't.
100% do, and I understand 100% why the players
Sure.
won't allow it.
Me too.
And,
I
from this perspective, I side with the players here. Fuck that shit. especially if you kind of look at the other applications that you and I were talking about off air with the applications for this in like insurance, private citizen insurance, and how in insurance at its core for the person who's purchasing it is it's a financial risk abatement vehicle. You spend money on a consistent basis in order to help mitigate the large one or multi-time disasters. From a insurance provider's perspective, it is a gamble that you win more than you lose, and you end up making money in exchange for providing that financial risk abatement for the general populace. And when there's no longer risk involved because you've been tracking people since they were fucking born, or in some cases before they were fucking born, and you know their entire genetic history and what they've had and what, you know, going forward and what they're will be susceptible to, then there's no risk involved. Then it's a loaded debt. You're playing a loaded game. And apply that same principle here to contract negotiations with players. If I know your arm's going to fail in 3 weeks because I've been tracking it forever, you are ruining my ability to future earn a living here. Whereas historically, that has been a calculated gamble based on less information. I'm not giving. If I'm a player or in the players' union, I'm dead serious. I'm dying on this hill. I'm not letting that be implemented in my sport.
I think something like this could get ugly too.
Oh yeah, it could get very
lockout / strike. Lots of nasty stuff going on through in the media. You could see a multi-year lockout over something like this.
I think you could too, and it all harkens back to player contracts and how much players are getting paid nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I think that I don't know. Can you?
That's exactly why, with how much players are being paid these kind of days, all guaranteed money in every sport except football. Why the owners and the league would want that tracking. I 100% get it. It's 100% logical. They're trying to better assess their risk. And if you're a player, fuck you, man. You ain't tracking that. Figure it out on your own. I'm not providing you leverage in my contract negotiation. I'm not forcing you. I'm not going to allow you to, at gunpoint, force, take my leverage away in my next negotiation. Fuck you, man. You can go fuck off.
It's a huge gamble too. I mean, something like this. You know what? Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think, and this is the thing with something like this too, is it doesn't matter if you're completely healthy. We've talked and we've mentioned this before. We've seen this
completely healthy. Yeah. No professional athlete ever is completely
healthy. No. They're going to look at it like this. They're going to be like, okay, what happened with DeAndre Levy? It sounds like he got screwed over by the Lions. They weren't telling him the whole story about his knee. It's more fucked up than what he originally thought because he had Lions team doctors probably telling him that
clearing him like 6 weeks before he actually returned, saying he's totally fine, fine.
And then putting him on
his outside medical evaluator was telling you, dude, no, don't do it.
So what we may end up having, what we may end up seeing here are team doctors looking at this and owners saying, you know what, find something. Find
me a reason to void this guy's contract.
Or it could be something as simple as this. Hey, I'm the owner of the San Francisco Giants, Dorf. You're a pitcher coming up who I'm looking to sign.
Prospect, or am I already in your system?
You're a prospect.
Okay.
I just looked at your biometrics here, and you know what? They look really, really good, except you may have a problem.
You have a slight structural weakness, and I have a slight structural weakness in my throwing shoulder.
Yes, and you may end up having a long DL sit.
Yeah, based on our historic data.
I'm the one telling you.
Years,
You're not telling me. I'm telling you.
That's where I go get outside help.
Based on what we see, it looks like you may have a long DL stint in the next couple of years.
When you say
so
may.
That's $2 million contract.
That $2 million signing bonus, that slot bonus that I'm supposed to get.
Yep,
it's gonna be about $500,000.
Yeah. So, but you know what? Here's your contract though.
I'd be like, can I please be released so I can go sign with somebody else?
Except that doesn't work
I
that way.
know,
This
I
is the
know,
draft.
I know. Then I'd be like, I'm gonna be a free agent.
I hate draft systems anyway. I think it should be an auction.
So I don't know. That's, you know what, as much as I don't know. I think that the owners and I think leagues are going to, even if there is a no to this, there's going to be some way I think that leagues are able to.
They're gonna try to do something.
They're gonna try.
This.
They're gonna try to do something with this, and
I'm going to equate this to Big Brother surveillance in just kind of how, the NSA listens to everything. What reasonable suspicion do you have to violate my Fourth Amendment rights? Oh, you don't? Then fuck off.
all right,
Come back with a warrant.
bitches and badasses time. There we go. Go ahead, Dorf. Who's your badass?
All right, my badass this week is actually going to be Astros center fielder George Springer, making MLB history this week, hitting three leadoff home runs in one calendar week. So he's my badass this week. So 3 leadoff home runs in 7 games.
All right, Shawn.
I am actually gonna go with Sergio Garcia, finally winning a Masters and a majors. It's just
First major
in 72 attempts.
He's been playing on the PGA Tour since 99?
Yep, when he was 19 years old.
First time winner.
Yep, and it was nice to see.
If you read his lips, it was probably fucking finally in Spanish.
Yeah. I'm like Dorf. Obviously didn't watch it. I don't know if you watched any of.
I watched just the playoff.
Yeah, it was just so it was very interesting to see how good he did. He looked so pinpoint accurate. Everything. His swing was just perfect. It's just like I haven't the last time I saw him do something like that was probably in his early 20s.
And if you just look at his tee shot on the playoff hole there, yes, he had the benefit that his opponent. Who was his opponent again?
Justin
Rose. Put it in the fucking, put it in the pine straw right behind a tree.
Yeah, but also winning.
But super aggressive and fucking nailed that.
How cool is it also winning your Masters and playing against your best friend? It's like Justin Rose is his best friend.
Well, at the same time,
but how awesome that is.
They were talking about how Justin Rose, it's so great to lose to a friend. I'm like, I fucking don't want to lose to a friend. I'd rather lose to a mortal enemy.
I know, but still, just imagine getting to play something that high of level, and you're both coming out with millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I would love to do that against one of you two.
And I want to beat your ass, too.
Yeah, me too, buddy. We aren't friends until this tournament's over.
My badass this week is actually Gary Bettman in the NHL.
What?
It is them turning down the Olympics.
Oh, saying, hey, you, Olympics, fuck off.
Yeah, and you know what? I understand the players are upset, but I'm sorry. Team Russia, Team United States, Team Canada, they are not signing your paychecks. And you know what?
They are not your employer. Oh, we don't approve your time off request. Sorry, keep working.
Look, I think you've got to look at it just from the standpoint of the owners.
What are they going to do? Yeah, from the owners.
They're
from that. But what is the owners? What is the league going to do when a player like Sidney Crosby has already talked about saying, well, guess what? I'm going to go play in the Olympics. Fuck you guys. What are they going to do to him?
Probably going to suspend him.
Okay. Suspended him for the duration of the Olympics, or are they going to actually suspend him for real games afterwards?
Well, they're probably going to fine him a shit ton too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they could go and play, but can you imagine?
They probably could end up suing him too, breach of contract.
Yeah, they probably could. Can you imagine if
he gets hurt in the
can you
Olympics?
imagine if he gets hurt, or like Alexander Ovechkin is talking about the same thing. Again, can you imagine these guys go over there? They say "fuck you" to the NHL and the NHLPA
in the middle of their season. Say, "Yep, I'll be back in 3 weeks."
Well, I don't know if
I'm gonna go play. I'm gonna go do my job for somebody else while you guys are paying me.
Yeah, and can you imagine the backlash of the fans if something like that were to happen?
I think it'd be very divided.
Well, that's not what you want.
I know. I think the sentiment would be very divided.
These guys are just better off not going.
Not easy for us to say.
I know it's easy for us to say, but you know what? I don't know how easy it is for us to say that. I mean, if either one of us went and
Went
left
to our employer and said, "Hi, boss man, I'm going to go work
I'm gonna go work.
doing the exact same job for the competition down the street for the next 3 weeks, and you're just going to have to deal with it."
Yeah. How would that go?
Oh yes, and you're still going to pay me.
Yeah. How would that? Yeah. Seriously, how would that go?
Wouldn't be pretty.
No, it wouldn't.
Sir, you are going to be given the opportunity to succeed elsewhere. What's that mean?
No,
We
you know
just
what?
fired you.
It's much easier for them to fire us because we're not professional.
We
Right.
are
hockey players.
at-will employees.
We
We're
don't make
not-
millions of dollars.
But still, I mean, would that be a breach of contract?
for Sidney Crosby, for example, to go. Yeah, absolutely.
I would think it would be.
Mhm.
And could teams void the contract if they were to get hurt?
Yeah, probably.
So I don't know. I like
Would a Alex Ovechkin or Sidney Crosby type have their contract voided if they got hurt in the Olympics? Probably not, because they're worth more than that long term. But if a more mid-level player did, you bet your fucking ass their contract gets voided, and they probably get fucking sued. They probably get sued for breach of contract by their team that held their contract.
Yeah, they could. Absolutely. Erickson, you can go play for Sweden. if you want.
I mean, go ahead. Oh, Tarp's coming off at Wrigley.
Oh, it's coming off?
Yep,
Oh my God.
it's
Okay.
coming off.
Only an hour late.
Good for them. So yeah, I like what the NHL did there. I definitely see it. Look, it sucks. It sucks from a fan standpoint. I'm gonna miss seeing NHL players play in the Olympics
Mhm.
in 2018. But at the same time, I'm a Red Wings fan.
And I'd rather see them play the regular season.
Yes,
and-
my loyalties, and I don't want to sound non-patriotic or anything
no,
like
no,
that.
it's not.
But my loyalties lie with the Red Wings, and I'm sorry, not a team that is around.
So are you a
every 4
pinko
years.
commie?
I am. I am.
Fucking goddamn commie.
You know what though? I mean, look.
No,
I'm going to cheer for the team that I'm able to.
The Committee of Un-American Affairs or whatever that was.
I'm going to cheer for the team that is from my city and that I can see
Right.
every single season,
No,
not
it's
every
smart.
not every 4 years.
Yeah. Who cares about the 4 years? It sucks to say that, but it's just like you see these guys. Okay, so within the 4 years, you're going to see them play in the Olympics, 10 times maybe?
Yeah.
And
you know
then
what?
in the 4 seasons of Reagan, you're going to see them play about 240
And
games.
the thing is, I said the same exact stuff about the World Baseball Classic. And I said the World Baseball Classic took place during a bad time of the year for baseball. This is even a worse point of the year.
Yeah.
When it comes to
Yeah.
hockey, because if these guys were to get hurt, it did happen a couple of years ago. I think the last Olympics, John Tavares got hurt and was out for the rest of the season.
I do believe that you are correct about that.
If you got hurt in the Olympics, you have maybe about a month and a half to get healthy.
That's not going to work
To get
out well.
healthy, if you're a playoff team and you're looking to,
Mhm.
be there for the playoffs, or even if you're one of those top guys and your team's in a playoff race,
Mhm.
it's not going to be good. Anyways, bitch this week. Dorf, go ahead.
All right, my bitch this week is going to be the officials working the NCAA National Championship, Men's Basketball National Championship game. Seriously, guys, if anybody's seen that and watched that game, the fuck? Seriously, guys? The fuck? Just awful. Just two totally different officiating styles from half to half, and ruined a perfectly good game.
Sean.
I'm going to keep it with, the hate of the Dallas Cowboys I keep coming up with. And you know what?
Seriously, guys? The fuck?
Exactly. I mean, Tommy Romo's gone. Get him out of there. Let Dak Prescott create his own era. Quit, throwing, is Dak Prescott going to thrive? And, Tony Romo is shadows. Tony Romo's played 5 freaking games since 2014. You know what? He's gone. Get rid of him. Quit talking about him. Let this kid, create a career. I actually like Dak Prescott. I think he has talent. He's going to be good. Just let him be. Just let him be. Let him create his own era. Screw Tony Romo.
Seriously, guys? The fuck?
I disagree, Sean, but
You can. Go right ahead.
my bitch.
Tarp's back on.
No, they're probably going to pull it off. They probably just went and pushed the water off, and they're about to pull it off right now.
That's true. Good call.
I saw that today.
All right, about to roll
Just
it
like the Cubs, though, they win the World Series, and sorry.
back. Celebration's been rained out.
Yep.
The season's over. Another 100-year drought to come.
My bitch this week is Rob Manfred, which we'll get to a little bit later. So,
Manfred.
anyways, moving along. What do we got next here? Oh yeah, way too early to panic.
Oh my god, everybody.
The Giants lose today again.
No, they won 4-1.
Buster Posey got hit in the coconut though.
Okay, well, there's the trade-off.
They got plunked.
So the Giants, where are we at with them?
They're 3-5.
3-5, last place in the NL West.
Not worried about the last place part.
What was it?
Not worried about the last place part.
Okay, what are we worried about?
Their lack of fucking offense.
And then actually losing one of their best hitters today, probably for a week or so.
You think he's gonna end up on the deal? Concussion deal?
Probably. I guarantee he will.
Okay, fair enough.
So lack of offense and Posey maybe going on the DL.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting so desperate they're signing guys to play left field.
So is this a chronic thing that could last the entire season, or is this something? Do you think they're going to be able to pull themselves out of when it comes to the offense, especially?
I don't know, man. They don't have a lot of thump in that lineup.
They don't.
They really don't. Denard Span is still there. Yeah. So what am I talking about? Yeah, Denard Span's still there. He's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. Hunter Pence is in decline. So it's Brandon Belt and Buster Posey versus the world. Joe Panic's nothing special. I don't know who they trotting out at third base today. We'll figure that out. Third base and left field.
Nunez.
Yeah,
Most of the
Eduardo
time.
fucking Nunez. Woo.
Is it time then to put Madison Bumgarner in an effort
Hey,
spots?
Mad Bum. What are your thoughts on playing in left field 3 days a week?
We need your bat more than.
How would you like to play first base?
Probably not, because then you're displacing your second best hitter in Brandon Belt.
Teach him to play left field. Because I'd rather have Bumgarner be at first base, less movement.
What about that stretch though?
I'd rather have him stretch than running.
Okay.
I'd rather than running.
Cardinals currently playing right now. Are they losing?
This tied 3-3.
It's
They're
tied
tied 3-3.
Tied 3-3. Cardinals are 2-4.
I mean, they
game.
did get to play the buzzsaw known as the Cubs at the beginning of the year.
Mhm.
I'm not worried.
Not worried.
No panicking here.
Any panic from you, Shawn?
No, not really. Yeah, they just played a really tough team. So
Nationals team ERA is at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to MLB teams. Again, they had that Guthrie blow up in the, in the
2/3
first
of an inning, 10 earned runs.
But still, is it? Do you think it's time to panic a little bit about
little bit.
Their offense is too damn good. Not worried about it.
I wasn't asking about the offense. I was
I
asking
know,
about the
but
pitching.
for their pitching will be made up for by their offense being too damn good.
Okay, Shawn.
Well, they just lost Turner for a week with a
It's a
ham,
week.
but it's a
Fine.
hamstring injury, so it could be a little bit longer to take care of.
Blue Jays 1-5 to start the season.
Oh
Time to
my
panic.
God! 5-alarm panic.
Really? Why?
Because all of a sudden they can't pitch, and
They
they
can't
can't hit either, or they can't defense good either.
So this
They
is
can't defense good.
Yeah.
so this is a full-on panic then for the
Oh
Blue
my
Jays.
God!
Oh, yeah.
Everybody panic!
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You have a small child around you, grab it and use it as a human shield.
Cleveland, team that many people are expecting to go back to the World Series, just got swept by the Diamondbacks.
They need to panic because I called at the beginning of the year that Cleveland is a fluke, and last year was just one of the luckiest seasons they're going to have. They have no chance of repeating what they did last year.
Wait till they play someone in the division, and then we'll talk.
Okay, Mariners
AL Central teams don't do well in interleague on the West Coast, so
Mhm.
I'm not worried.
Mariners 1-6 to start the season.
Youch.
Yeah,
Time to panic.
Can't pitch.
yeah, they have no pitching. That hurts them.
They should have a lot of pitching. They have no pitching.
All right, and Rangers in the AL West as well, 2-4, slightly better, but still
good
2-4.
either. Rut row.
Time to panic.
Rut row.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering the hot start the Astros are off to. Although Astros are going to have to just put Colin McHugh on the deal for 6 to 8 weeks. So Astros are already short on pitching, but you know what? Fuck, they can crush the ball.
All right, out of those teams right now, who's in the best position to put their early season struggles behind them?
I'm going to go St. Louis.
St. Louis?
Plenty of talent. Just, you know what? Rough schedule over the year.
Shawn?
I'm going with the Nationals. Their pitching are coming around.
Oh yeah, Nationals will be fine too.
The team that is likely going to have this come back and haunt them.
Toronto.
Toronto?
You know what? You had back-to-back career years out of like no names like Marco Estrada and Zeke Carrera. Now you're counting on them to be really, really big parts of your team. And oh yeah, they've come back to earth. Whoops. Oh yeah, and there's also now no reason to throw Jose Bautista a strike.
Shawn?
I'm going with the Cleveland Indians. I don't think Kluber, Carrasco, and Salazar is going to be able to carry a team for another full season.
All right. All right then. That's gonna do it for the way too early to panic ? Segment of the night. Let's go ahead and get to stupid shit of the week. LeVar Ball, Dorf, you did was it an afternoon commute on this? I think it was a morning drive on this.
Yes, well, if we want to tease that, so on Periscope and then it goes up on our website, Adam and I are doing a semi-regular video series where in our cars, mine on my afternoon commute, him on his morning drive in, just, rant for 6 to 10 minutes about something. My thoughts on LeVar Ball are published there. You can find those on our website at themajors.net.
Well, he was at it again. He said this to ESPN Radio Friday.
The fact that the ESPN keeps trotting him out there is a crime in itself.
The reason why UCLA lost, I'm not saying this is what he said. I believe he said it to, hold on. He tried to backtrack on Friday, his comments. But Ball Sr. had said that Lonzo Ball's UCLA Bruins failed to go deep in the NCAA tournament because, quote, realistically, you can't win a championship with 3 white guys because the foot speed is too slow. Then, on Friday, during an interview with ESPN Radio, he said his words had been misunderstood. Ball Sr. said, I'm not saying I don't like the white guys and we lost because of them. No, that's how they twisted it up. But
no, I'm pretty sure your true feelings were displayed in round 1.
Yeah, realistically, you can't win a championship with 3 white guys because the foot speed is too slow. I'm failing to see how those words got twisted around.
It's pretty cut and dry.
That's pretty cut and dry. Dorf, like you were saying, LeVar Ball.
Shut up and get out of the way. You're ruining all 3 of your children's future careers.
You know what? We saw this too. We saw not so much in the NBA.
Fucking undrafted free agent practice squad scrubadora. Shut up. You're not going to be able. You never were going to be able to beat Michael Jordan. Yeah, you might be able to beat Michael Jordan at
now
the Oklahoma drill in football. Sure.
Hey, Dorf.
But basketball? No, you've never been able to beat him.
Dorf.
What's up?
Connor Cook.
What?
Connor Cook.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shawn. Connor Cook.
You understand what that means, right?
No.
A fringe first-round NFL prospect falls to round 4 because daddy's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And had some crazy rants on the Twitter.
I'm remembering that now.
Look, teams don't want to deal with this. They don't. Especially with a guy like Lonzo Ball. I know it's difficult to compare the NBA draft to the NFL draft just because the NFL draft is so much deeper than the NBA draft is. But teams generally don't want to have to deal with a rookie
from who's already going to be struggling just by default by being a rookie.
Yes. And having
we've got a fucking dad that's going to be overly involved and is going to be a nightmare.
Yes.
Oh, not interested.
Because and I think this is different, Dorf, from what we talked about a couple of weeks ago when it came to backups being a distraction when we're talking about, the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. This is completely different. Because the only person that Colin Kaepernick had to answer for was Colin Kaepernick. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden, Lonzo Ball is having to
answer for his father.
He's got to answer for himself, and then he's got to answer for his father as well. And you know what? That starts to transcend on the rest of the team as well, because all of a sudden now, it's not just about Lonzo Ball. It's about, oh, hey, did you hear what his dad said too? What do you think about? What do you think about that?
What's your thoughts on your dad's comments about such and such?
Silence.
He's crazy.
Dad, I love you, but
Shut the hell up.
shut up. And y'all around here, stop throwing microphones in his face. He can't help himself.
But you know what? We get the headline out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Clickbait Central.
So yeah, again, LeVar Ball is a total fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I have. Can I? Are we done with this subject here? I got something. Can we stick it in here real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay. So y'all know about what happened with the United Airlines flight today, right?
Yes.
Man forcibly removed after United said that we need 4 people to, after they've already gotten on the plane and sat down and ready to go. We need 4 of you to skedaddle because we got United employees that need to get to the destination so they can go to work on Monday, so they can work today. And 3, can't get anybody to get paid to give up their seat, so the computer's going to randomly pick 4 people, and you guys are going to have to go. One guy refused. Had his face bashed in by Chicago airport police. We're fortunately removing him from the plane. Joe Thomas, Brown's a left tackle, also being the MVP of Twitter that he is. After the
Did you run a poll?
Yes, he did. United's CEO came out and said something about having to reaccommodate this passenger. We're sorry, we're doing our own investigation. He posted a picture. Dear at United, I had to reaccommodate someone once in a while. It's a picture of him pancaking linebacker James Ferrier with a hand in his face. Then also he retweeted something from another gentleman. The United Airlines is pleased to announce a new seating on all domestic flights in addition to United First Class Economy Plus we introduced. And in the middle section of the plane, it's first class, second class, Fight Club, third class. And then also retweeted former teammate and wide receiver Andrew Hawkins. Remember when Josh Norman reaccommodated me once? Shows him getting laid out by Josh Norman. Justin Forsett, also he retweeted Joe Thomas. No leggings on the plane now. It's been a rough week or a rough month for airline
That's what I was
companies.
gonna say because they had the leggings thing.
Mm-hmm. As I was talking about with the other guys at work today, the leggings thing is at least explainable. I can go into detail about how it's slightly rational after this, but I'm going to keep going. Strong safety for the Bengals, Georgia Cola. I had to cancel if I had to cancel my flight on the day of travel, I won't get my money back if I cancel. But if they cancel my original flight, do I have the option to get a full refund? Nope. Joe Thomas, poll. Would you rather be reaccommodated by United or body slammed by The Rock?
Body slammed by the Rock.
And then also retweeted Joe Thomas, Dear United shareholders, we'd like to introduce you to your new majority shareholder. It's a picture of the guy being dragged off the plane. Sincerely, your legal team.
Oh yeah, this guy the guy who got dragged off. This might be the best thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah, he's gonna have probably a broken nose and definitely a busted lip. But Joe's not kidding. You're gonna be a new majority shareholder in United.
I mean, what the hell are these? What are they thinking?
Yeah.
The thing is, okay, it's not United employees who forcibly removed him from the cockpit.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They initiated this.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
They created the situation.
This is something that they initiated, and it was because they couldn't get their employees back.
They couldn't get him to Louisville, so they could work on a flight.
And you know what? And whose fault was it that the flight got overbooked?
United.
Yeah, not my fault that you fucked yourself up. I've got to get back home too because I've got to get. That guy might have had to go home and get to work himself.
He's reportedly a doctor, and he needed to get back home for patients.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Actually, after being dragged off,
did he pay for the ticket too?
Yes. After being dragged off, he somehow got back on the plane and was just seen chanting over, "I got to get home. I have to get home. I have to get home," as he frantically tried to search for an empty seat.
How do you get back on?
Yeah, seriously.
Great question. And then they actually made everybody get off the plane so they could clean up all the blood. It was all over the place.
Oh my god!
And the flight took off 2 hours late. Over 2 hours.
I don't blame this guy.
And then the
CEO.
CEO,
this guy's gonna own them.
The whole line about being reaccommodated.
No. I'm like, my reaccommodated is owning you.
And the worst part is, so United's PR team said, we don't have a comment. Talk to Chicago police. Chicago police says we don't have a comment. talked to the Chicago Transit Security or something, which is an arm of the PD. But so they said we don't have a comment. Talk to the TSA. The TSA is like, "Fuck you guys. We don't have anything to do with this." Talk to the Chicago Police Department. It's been playing in that circle essentially of, oh, we ain't touching this shit. Keep us out of it.
Yeah, I don't see what I don't see unless they were TSA agents actually forcibly helping. them
They
remove this
were
guy.
technically employees of the Chicago Police Department.
Well, there's going to be multiple lawsuits here.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lawsuit towards the Chicago Police Department. There's going to be
United Airlines.
he might actually sue O'Hare. Was it
airport.
O'Hare?
Yes.
Yeah.
He might end up suing O'Hare too, or the city,
You're
or
gonna have plenty of ambulance chasing lawyers lining up here to.
and the guys,
this guy.
and they're going to settle,
Oh yeah.
and this guy is going to have a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And never have to work again.
No, he might not have to go back to that doctor's practice anymore, or he may be able to get a doctor's practice. But it might be one of those where he just
I work like 1 day a week.
Or
Yeah.
1 day a
Twice a
month for him,
Twice a month.
because 29 to 30 days out of the month he's gonna
But
be
this is
on a
for free on
beach.
United.
this is so
I
ridiculous.
know, it's just the dumbest thing ever.
Wow. Did you want to try to justify the leggings thing?
So with the leggings thing, they were not traditional passengers. They were actually flying for free on behalf of the airline, and part of because they're related to somebody who works for the airline. That's one of your employment perks. You're allowed to allow your relatives or yourself to fly for free or very heavily discounted rates standby. So with that being said, as part of that trade-off, they are viewing you as an extension of their employee, and therefore they have a dress code that you're required to adhere to. Leggings are not permissible under that employee extended dress code. So that's all. These people were not traditional passengers who paid full value for their seat. Part of the deal of getting the cheaper discounted travel is you have to adhere to their dress code. They were in violation of that. They were forced to change. So nothing wrong with what happened there.
I can kind of see that then. If they have to adhere by an regular employee dress code because they are, so they weren't actually employees, but they were indirectly flying for one of the
because
employees.
as an employee perk, yes.
So they were flying using basically an employee discount from somebody else.
Yes. And part of the terms and conditions that you have to agree to is to adhere to that dress code. They didn't.
Did they sign something?
By accepting that ticket, you de facto signed for it.
I think that's much more arguable, like you said.
Yeah, we're giving you a free or discounted service. I mean, at the same time, the airline can set whatever dress code they like. They are a private business; they can do that. However, it needs to be published and it needs to be upfront, and you need to enforce it even-handedly across everything.
But also, they are leggings.
Yeah, it's
Almost-
commonly worn across the country
Yes.
by
Every
way too
single
many people.
yes, every single soccer mom, just about,
And teenage girl.
and teenage girl wears these things.
Mhm.
Especially on a plane too. I mean, I'm sure they're comfortable.
That's what they claim.
I mean, Shawn wears them all the time.
Yeah,
and he says the same
who
exact
doesn't?
thing.
You like how they hug your balls?
Oh, you have no idea, man. It feels so
The
fantastic.
support is second to
And
none.
especially if I try to run, it doesn't pinch them. It's great.
All right.
So next show, you're going to see Shawn rolling around here in a pair of jeggings.
All right, let's go ahead and get to the fan question this week. Rob Manfred thinking about introducing a rule into Major League Baseball that would put a cap on the number of relievers you can use during an inning. I'm bitching Rob Manfred because of this. It just seems like he's
Stop fucking around. It's not broken. Don't try and fix it.
yeah. I mean, what he says?
I'm going to fundamentally change baseball because reasons.
because people think that's boring.
Tough titties. If I, as a manager, think that the best way for me to win this baseball game is to have 3 different pitchers pitch to 3 different batters in a row, I'm gonna fucking do that. Fuck you if you don't think that's boring. My job isn't to entertain you; it's to win fucking games.
You know what's more entertaining than a single game in April or May or June?
Playoffs.
Yeah. And strategy like that helps teams get to the playoffs
And win in the playoffs.
and win in the playoffs. Absolutely.
Ooh, yeah.
You know something that one thing that I would like to see happen that really doesn't have any effect. It's not baseball, it's basketball. Taking away timeouts.
Less TV timeouts.
Taking away timeouts at the end of the game.
Oh, you can,
So instead of the last 3 minutes being actually 3 minutes instead of like 30 minutes?
Yeah.
So the last 3 minutes, kind of like the NCAA.
I can't stand them.
irritates-
Well,
yeah,
the
it's
NCAA
annoying.
has the use it or lose it in the first half. You could have this kind of the same thing with the NBA, or I know they do, but you can cut down on the amount of timeouts you could stash for the very end.
I think they need to do that in the NBA.
What's your thoughts on the NBA allowing you to advance the ball on the timeout? Not that I understand why they do it.
Yeah, I understand too, and I'm okay with that.
It's all about getting more buckets.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Although that what was Shaka Smart's defense? The Havoc defense. That's kind of exciting too. And I think you'd see that more if you didn't advance the ball on timeout. Whatever. Anything, Shawn? Anything you want
I
to?
figured you'd have a strong opinion about this.
You want him?
You
to
don't mind it?
I don't know the whole story yet.
He wants to limit the number of relief pitchers you can use in an inning to what? 2?
I don't know how many.
I think just leave it. It's dumb. Like,
There's
why
no-
change it? Like, if the team
it's-
wants to use up all their pitchers in that inning, let them, and then
Like I
they're
said, it's
screwed.
not broken. Don't fix
Right.
it.
Just like how the intentional walk thing. I think that's dumb too.
I don't mind the intentional.
I think
walk
that's
thing.
stupid.
Because what, 1 in like 1,000 have something that goes wrong?
There you go. Why fix
It's
it
like
if it ain't
1
broken?
per year. Where a
Why
guy throws
fix it if it ain't broken? That's what you just said. It wasn't broken, so why fix it?
because it doesn't fundamentally.
Okay, why fix it if it's not broken?
doesn't
Why fix it if it's not broken?
It's
Why fix it if it's not broken?
Let me
Why fix it if it's not broken?
turn him off, please.
Why fix it if it's not broken?
You're losing your
Why
microphone.
fix it if it's not broken?
Okay, now that
Why
you
fix
can't
it if
hear
it's not
me.
broken?
I
Why
will-
fix it if it's not broken?
Dick bag. No, my justification for that is it doesn't fundamentally alter baseball strategy because
Why fix it if it's?
Exactly. Thank you.
I wouldn't
Thank
be
you.
the one proposing it, but for fuck's sake, I'm not going to rip the guy because it didn't fundamentally change the game. Like I know this isn't an exact number, but it seems like about 1 in 1,000 intentional walks has something go wrong. So this is kind of like the extra point. Why don't they just eliminate it? Kind of like they did here. Oh, it's a fucking formality. If you want to go for 2, you can try and go for 2. Otherwise, you take your 1.
I kind of like the extra point.
Yeah,
Well,
Well, now it is now. If you were to keep it at the kicking from the line of scrimmage at the 2 or 3 or whatever,
I'm okay with what the NFL did with that.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Now it's not a given. It's not a gimme anymore.
Right. The amount of missed extra points now
What's it
is
like 93% now?
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
It's like
def-
93% down
it's-
from 99.9.
Yeah, it's definitely gone down.
It is. It blows my mind, like looking at on how much like extra points were missed this year. But you can go kick it from 60 yards away and make it, but you can't do it from 25 yards away.
33.
33.
Didn't Dan Ugla one time get a base hit off of a? I thought
Miguel Cabrera has a base hit off.
Yeah.
Does he?
RBI single, yeah. Back in his Marlins days. But you see one of those or like a wild pitch where it throws away where everybody moves up like once, maybe twice a year. So the amount of times, especially in the National League where there's intentional walks, just fucking put them on. Doesn't change the game, fundamentally change the game. And you know what? You save a minute or 2. Cool.
I think they have to do something in order to get that intentional walks.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I want to see something fun happen.
Pitcher has to do a fucking handstand.
That'd be
Something
sweet.
Yeah, something
You
like
have
that.
you have to do like, say you're playing beer pong and get a rollback. You got to throw it behind the back over to the plate, try to get a strike.
I always like my penalty pitch.
There you go.
You got to stand there and take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just like you're playing hacky sack and
We
you mess
choose
up,
to take our penalty pitch now when your pitcher's up to bat. He's got to stand there and take it.
and you got to beat him right in the back, right in the spine,
Have
or the
you seen Have you
kidney.
seen the penalty pitch?
No, I've never seen
His
that.
proposal is essentially legalizing assault.
No, it's a strike zone that goes behind the hitter,
Yeah, let's do this.
and you could take your penalty.
You can drill a guy and it will still be a strike.
Let's do this. I'm gonna beat
Or
a.
throw it 16 feet over his head or roll it to the plate.
It's penalty pitch. If you screw up on your coaches or your manager challenge, then penalty pitch. Anyways, let's get to some news. We've got Sergio Garcia. Here he is winning.
Sweet putt, by the way.
Yeah, it was actually a sweet putt. There he is.
So very quiet. Dresses the ball.
Chirp.
His pants are very white.
Chirp.
And after so many years, once
Buckets.
and for all for Sergio.
I want to hear Gus Johnson call golf. Step back! God! Cold-blooded! Isaiah
look at-
Thomas at Washington call.
They're such good friends too. You see that they're good friends.
They are.
Yay.
See?
Glenn Murray, his caddy.
Sergio.
Sergio.
Yelling Sergio.
Rufio.
What's that from?
Dorf, there's the door right there.
Hook.
Walk out the door.
Hook. Where's the hook? Hook. Hook. Where's the hook?
This from? What is this from? I don't know.
I said it.
He's-
Hook.
yeah.
Hook. Where's the hook? Hook.
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 Peter Pan. Robin Williams.
Oh, okay.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Is he dead now?
Dustin
No.
Hoffman?
Oh, I'm thinking Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's dead.
The kid from Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys know me well enough to know that there's 0% chance that.
Why do you think we say this just to get you?
Dicks?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you guys want to hear Max Kellerman say that golf is not a sport?
Yes.
Do you want to hear Max Kellerman be wrong?
There was choking down the stretch. First of all, golf's whole status as a sport is a separate issue for another day, I guess. I mean, I would define a sport as a competition through which you can accurately gauge the athleticism of its participants, and I don't think that's the case with golf. We'll set that aside.
What?
The fact is here, among its many flaws, I mean, I understand people find it dramatic and everything. This ain't Ali going at Frazier. They're not throwing punches. They're not tackling each other. They're not in each other's way. Golf is not a zero-sum game. It's more like a standardized test. So rooting for the other guy has no bearing on anything. You are competing against yourself and competing against the course. And in the end, they see who did best. What difference does it make if you say, oh, nice shot to the other guy, or way to go to the other guy? How does that affect you? That's
does
the
that
fact
matter?
of the matter. This is not the same kind of
we've heard enough.
competition that we experience in other real sports that
Dorf
we
is
watch in the
upset.
United States of
Dorf
America.
is
Basketball,
upset.
football,
I can't
baseball.
stand watching golf on television.
Look at that.
That's
That
actually
is
pretty sweet.
that is a
That's perfect.
print screen that, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Max Kellerman here with a derp face.
There we
Max Kellerman is a derp.
Oh, that's great. He's like,
No, because they're not like punching each other, and there's not competition. Except the whole thing is a individual fucking competition.
now we just need to put it like
where you're judging
Baby
their
Ruth
ability
next to his picture.
like, complete.
Baby Ruth.
I can't justify his comments. I don't know if he was doing that just for Facebook feed or not Facebook, Twitter feedback.
I would have laughed at that
He's
part.
doing it for the ratings, bro.
I would have laughed right there if he started talking about that when he said, "No, golf isn't really a sport." That he's blacked him out and shut him off.
Oh, kind of like Dan Lebitard got censored at Bristol.
Yeah,
for we played that last week.
yeah. For base,
Oh,
he-
making a 69
yeah,
joke.
69 joke.
Like Gronk can make the
Yeah.
69 joke, but
What's the number that comes between 68 and 70, but I can't? What just happened there? You got bleeped in Bristol. You got dumped in Bristol.
all right. What else do we have here? Where did my shit go? Did I lose my stuff? Oh, there it is. I think it's
My
my
God, this crap my pants.
Do you guys want to see Matt Kuchar
With this hole in one.
hit a hole in one?
Yes.
He did?
Yes, it was
Yeah,
sweet.
he
You didn't see that?
29th time.
If you would have watched the entire match,
didn't.
yeah, it's your own fault.
Was he using a 7?
Because if you don't fix it, you know.
He good. He's posing on it.
Right here.
He likes
Right
it.
here.
This is really good.
Oh,
This
this
is really good.
superb. Look out.
Back for Matt Kuchar.
Look
Matt
out.
Kuchar.
You haven't seen a one today. It's on a tremendous line. Matt Kuchar for some love. Oh, my boy!
Oh, my boy!
We got one. Number 19 here at 16, and it's Matt Kuchar.
There we go.
The cooch.
The cooch. And then finally,
He's a gamer.
There we go.
the I'll just let it. There we go. Is there an announcer? Is there sound? Where's my sound?
There's no sound.
Ah,
There's never been any sound. Tim Tebow had a 3-run homer.
Opposite field.
Second home.
It wasn't opposite field.
He's
Oh, was it?
He's
I
a
thought-
lefty.
Oh,
His first home run was an opposite
Yeah.
fielder.
Oh, I'm
you
sorry. I'm sorry. The
doofus.
other-
Yeah, 3-run shot to right. Second homer in 3 games. So he went, I think, like 2 for 9 in the series. Both hits were homers, and also struck out 5 times.
Let's see it again.
Yeah.
Let's see it again.
Dong.
Boom.
Dong.
Gone.
It's actually pretty nice bat speed.
Gone.
Dong show.
That's right. We're gonna get the countdown to Tebow
I mean, he's a
finally getting on the
he's
Mets
a
roster.
fucking
Yeah.
29-year-old outfielder playing in high A ball.
Look at that. He's gonna truck somebody too coming around those
No,
bases.
so huge.
Dude, he's like 260 pounds of meat. It's not fat 260. He's like 10% body fat at 260.
Do you think he buys all of his teammates alcohol? Oh wait, no, it's Tim Tebow. Never mind.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably not.
He buys them a whole bunch of holy wine.
See that must suck for his teammates. They're like,
He probably holds a Bible study though.
hey, he might.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. They're probably like, oh yeah, we're gonna get like a 29-year-old on the team.
Yeah.
Oh, who is it? Tim Tebow. Wait a second. There was sound to
Damn it.
that.
This kid is a gamer. He's a baller. He's a playmaker and a shot caller. In case you didn't know, I got Tebow. He shattered the mold, and all he does is win.
Hey, Dorf.
All he does is win.
You know, if Tim Tebow ever does make it to the 25 man, you know you're probably not gonna want to come that week.
Oh, yeah, do not come.
I don't have any problem with him trying to
No.
play baseball.
No, I
just
will.
don't
No,
like you guys.
no.
Playing this stupid song.
We will decorate this entire studio of Tim Tebow stuff.
You're gonna make it a shrine to
Yes.
your Lord and Savior, Tim Tebow.
I will wear the eyeshadow of 316.
The eye black John 360.
Oh, you have no idea. I'll be wearing a Gators jersey to a Broncos jersey. I will switch it every 5 minutes.
And a Jets.
I will start off.
You have his New England Patriots one.
That's what I'm saying. I will start off as a Gator, then the Broncos, then to
Was the Jets next?
or was it the Jets and then New England, and then I would go to a Mets jersey.
Here we go. 40, 35, foot race, 20, 15, 10.
Demaryius Thomas
Touchdown, Denver. It's over. It's over in Denver.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Yep. There we go. Tim
And team,
Tebow.
and I will sneak on. I will somehow get on your computer before you come here and change your background to Tim Tebow. And I'll do it on your
It's like
phone
a very
too.
grainy picture of him like with a smirk. It's Ben Zobrist's wife singing the national
Kellyanne
anthem.
Conway doing the national anthem?
No, it's Ben Zobrist's wife.
Oh.
She actually is technically it does have several records. She is a thinger songwriter.
Oh, great. Sweet. Anyways, we're gonna let this take us out.
This kid is a gamer.
We'll see everybody in 2 weeks
He's a playmaker
when Tim Tebow finally makes the 25-man roster.
In case you didn't know, I got Tebow. He shattered the mold, and all
Have a
he
good
does
night,
is
everybody.
win.
See you next time.
All he does is win games. I got Tebow. He shattered the mold, and all he does is win. All he does is unleash.
Tell Tebow, let him go.
It's time.
Turn him loose.
Let him play. Let him
Play on Sundays.
unleash.
Tell Tebow, let him go.
It's time.
Turn him loose.
Let him play.
I'm going to church Sunday. We're on tap, watching. I think that's my game.
I didn't see you guys.
I'm no John Elway. He's rewriting the book. We can.
He's a unique football player.
That's what Tim Tebow's all about.
He's a gamer. He's a baller. Playmaker.